My name's Laura Morningstar, and I am a chronic illness warrior, a blogger, and a mum. And my blog mainly focuses on my chronic health issues and also my love of books and music and things, as well as throwing in some family stuff. I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about what I wish I'd known, or what I wish I'd been told when I received my diagnosis of celiac disease. Unlike many people with celiac disease, I was actually really lucky in that I was diagnosed very quickly. I'd been quite poorly for about 6-7 months and ended up in hospital. And it was while I was there that they were able to give me the diagnosis of celiac disease. And the problem is that they just said, oh, you've got celiac disease. If you stop eating wheat, you'll get better. I was like, hell yeah, that sounds brilliant. What they didn't say is that there are different, one of the things I wish they'd told me is that it's not only wheat that contains gluten. So I went off dutifully and I cut out wheat from my diet and stopped eating bread, pasta, cakes, and was still being ill. So the next visit to the dietitian was, oh, well, did you not know that wheat's also in barley? It's in some oats can contain gluten. This can contain gluten. I was like, well, no, you just said wheat. So trundled back off again. And that then meant that there was an even bigger range of foodstuffs that I couldn't eat because they contain these other gluten-containing products. In addition to that, a lot of food manufacturers use wheat to bulk out things that you wouldn't expect to have wheat in them. So chocolate bars, for example, I have to be really careful what chocolate I eat because a lot of it does contain wheat, or gluten at least. Or other factories, such as some crisp manufacturers, produce their crisps in factories that also handle gluten-containing ingredients, so can't guarantee the safety of that product as being gluten-free. So that's kind of the first thing I wish I'd known, is that I wish I'd been told just how many things contain gluten. The next thing I wish someone had said to me when I was given my diagnosis was that it wasn't necessarily going to be the panacea that I was expecting. Cutting out gluten, especially when I finally finished cutting it out, didn't make me any better. I was still being sick every day. I was still suffering with terrible, terrible pain. And that was because there are varying different forms of celiac disease. And I unfortunately have one called refractory celiac disease, which means that I don't actually get any relief to my symptoms, even though I follow a gluten-free diet. Another thing that I wish I've been told is that having an autoimmune disease and getting diagnosed with an autoimmune disease isn't necessarily the end of the story. A lot of autoimmune diseases have symptoms that overlap each other. And again, not all of my symptoms fit the expected symptoms of celiac disease, and my health has actually continued to deteriorate. So now I'm on a waiting list to see a rheumatologist to find out actually what is the root problem that's affecting my health. And the side issue with that is that every time I go to the doctors, it feels like I'm handed yet another prescription. You know, I'm on maybe 8 different medications. In fact, I think it's more now. And at least half of them are to combat the side effects of the medications that are keeping me well. And often I just feel like I'm a jangle when I'm walking because I'm taking so many pills each day. I wish I'd been told just how debilitating and how life-changing having a chronic illness and having an autoimmune disease can be. Making plans is tricky. Today I'm not having a great health day. I'm feeling very brain foggy, so actually concentrating on doing this broadcast is quite tricky. However, last week when I'd been hoping to do the broadcast, I was having a great health day and knew that was okay, so I just scheduled it for a week later. And unfortunately that happens a lot. I can make plans to see friends and then have to cancel at the last moment, or numerous times me and my boyfriend have planned to go into Manchester for the day and then had to cancel it at the last minute because I'm just not well enough. So it's almost like having another full-time job. You know, I'm a mum, that's a full-time job. I'm self-employed, that's a full-time job. And now I have to manage my chronic illness, which is almost another full-time job. And that's quite difficult to understand until you're actually experiencing it, and how you manage people's expectations of what it is that you're capable of doing. Because some days I feel like I could run a marathon, and other days I can barely move off the sofa. And I think the final thing is that I wish somebody had talked to me more about the grief that comes with having a chronic illness diagnosis, because I do grieve for the days when I could just grab a chocolate croissant from a bakery, or just have a slice of cake, but not so much that. I struggle now to maintain the same fitness routine that I used to. I struggle now with not being able to be as I can't remember the word, it's gone. Not imposterous, random. I could just say, oh, I'm off to go do this today, and be totally able to do it, whereas now I really have to think. And that's a slow process to kind of come to terms with that. And there's not enough, I feel, done around the emotional side of being diagnosed with any chronic illness. So yeah, those are the things that I wish I'd been told when I was diagnosed with a chronic illness. And I would love to know if there was anything that you wish you'd been told, because I do think that these are things that we, as people with chronic illnesses, can support each other with, and help to make it more widely known that these are the things that need to be considered too. It's not just a physical issue, it affects everything. Okay, thank you for tuning into this live, and hopefully I'll be back to talk more about my experiences in the next few weeks. Okay then, bye.